Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Finally, we get to see a good episode of Monday Night Raw. It has been a long time since we've seen an episode that good. New theme songs debuted, new characters debuted, and there was even a Hell in a Cell main event. What was there not to like about this show? But without further ado, I'm Conman167, and this is the Monday Night Raw review for June 21st, 2021. We start off the show with Bobby Lashley, MVP, and the Lashley ladies inside the VIP lounge, which takes place inside the center of the ring. They're talking about how they were so successful last night at Hell in a Cell, and it's time to raise a toast. As they lift their glasses, the New Day's music hits, and you're just like, okay, nice, we're gonna see some pancakes. But no, those weren't pancakes. Those were toasts. The New Day was gonna bring out some toast for the toast of Lashley. You know, bread that you put in the toaster. Toast? They begin to throw slices of bread at Bobby Lashley and MVP, who are not thrilled about this, not even in a little bit. But this is where Lashley starts to hone in on Kofi Kingston, starts to talk to him and says why he will never be WWE champion. MVP calls him a clown, he calls Xavier Woods a clown, and that they are not going to amount to anything if they continue these childish acts. That's where Kofi Kingston loved to remind Bobby Lashley that he beat him not that long ago. And what this all builds to is Kofi Kingston challenging Bobby Lashley at Money in the Bank for the WWE title. Bobby Lashley accepts, and then he proceeds to start to hone in on Xavier Woods. Talking about how he's a clown, talking about how he's going to put him in his place, and we find out that Xavier Woods challenges Bobby Lashley to a match inside Hell in a Cell. First time since 1998, there's a Hell in a Cell match on Monday Night Raw. I'm jazzed. Good opening segment, but then we jump to our first match of the evening, AJ Styles versus Ricochet, and a chance to qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match is on the line. Good back and forth match. AJ and Ricochet have amazing chemistry in that ring, but things picked up when the Viking Raiders came out to ringside. The raid was on, going right after Omos. Omos did get the upper hand for a little bit, but it wasn't until he charged straight forward and he got put right through a barricade. The Viking Raiders separating like the Red Sea, and man, Omos exploded through that barricade. This momentary distraction allowed Ricochet to pick up the win over AJ Styles, as AJ went to hit the phenomenal forearm and Ricochet countered into a recoil. 1, 2, 3, Ricochet is qualified for Money in the Bank. All right, bring it in close. Everybody gather in close because it's time to talk about Doudrop. Oh yeah, Doudrop. The name change is official. Eva Marie has labeled Piper Niven as Doudrop. What do you think about this name change? Well, it might not last for long, as it seems like Piper Niven, or Doudrop, is going to be splitting from Eva Marie very, very soon. They had a match against Naomi and Asuka, and Eva Marie was obviously the tag team partner of Doudrop. This match was very short, very quick, straight to the point. Doudrop looked pretty damn good in this match, but Eva Marie, the slimy heel, was causing issues. Eva Marie tags herself in when Doudrop clearly had the match in control. Doudrop did not like that. She steps on down, and it seems like the partnership of Eva Marie and Doudrop is already over. In fact, it seems like it's over before it even began. But I have to say, I love this. I honestly love this storyline. It's a way to introduce Piper Niven that is different than just throwing her out there in a random match. I truly think this is a great introduction for Piper Niven's character. People will not want to cheer for Eva Marie, so they're instantly going to cheer Piper Niven. And of course, this name Doudrop is just a temporary name. It's not even going to be a name that lasts probably more than a month. At least I don't think it will. It might, who knows, Vinnie Mac, right? But she's got some momentum now. She's a babyface. She's one of the best workers in the world. So this world is her oyster. Let's see what Piper Niven or Doudrop can do. We then got a promo between Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, honing in on their issues from last night at Hell in a Cell, where Rhea Ripley cheated essentially to beat Charlotte Flair, took the easy way out, got the disqualification finish, and walked out with the championship. The GM Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville were not a fan of how Rhea Ripley went about this. They were ordering her to the ring as they have some news for Rhea Ripley. They announced that at Money in the Bank, it is going to be Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair in the rematch for the Raw Women's Championship. It's going down. Are you guys excited to see this match again? I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. They'll be fine, but at the same time, we just saw it. I'm not really all that interested. But let me know in the comments below. Up next, we got ourselves a match between Randy Orton and John Morrison. This is a Money in the Bank qualifying match. After some good back and forth action, Riddle comes out on his scooter and he is chasing The Miz around at ringside. The Miz was scared for his life as he was just wheeling away from Riddle. Thanks to that distraction, John Morrison hits the Starship Pain and picks up the win over Randy Orton, thus qualifying for the Money in the Bank ladder match. I'm super happy for John Morrison. He deserves an opportunity like this. He's been on quite the roll. So let's see what he can do in the ladder match. Then we got kind of like two new debuts, if you will. Alexa Bliss debuting a new theme song, new Titantron, new entrance, all of that. And then Nikki Cross making a debut of a brand new character. You've seen Hurricane, you've seen Molly Holly, but now you get Nikki Cross as a superhero. Your thoughts, man? What do you think about Nikki Cross's new direction, her new character? Let me know in the comments below because I think there's a lot of potential here. It seems goofy, but let's see what happens. I'm a little disappointed that she's been pulled away from this feud with Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley after picking up wins over them. I thought maybe she was going to be added into the match at Money in the Bank and it was going to be a triple threat match, but that doesn't seem the case. It certainly seems like Nikki Cross is going to move in this new direction, whether it be winning Money in the Bank or there's something else for her with Alexa Bliss afterwards. I'm not really sure. But Nikki Cross, this new character, is certainly different. And honestly, different is all we ask for these days with Monday Night Raw because we were seeing rematches after rematches after rematches for so many weeks, and now we're getting some fresh stuff. I like it. This transitioned into our Money in the Bank qualifying match, Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Solid enough match, but it very much leaned into the whole mind control stuff from Alexa Bliss. Multiple times during the match, she tried to control Reginald. At one point, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler actually stopped Reginald from being controlled from Bliss. But in the end, Alexa Bliss climbed up to the top rope, stared right into the eyes of Reginald, and forced him to lift his hand up, very similar to how Nia Jax did at Hell in a Cell, and made him slap Nia. But at the very last second, Reginald clued back in and did not slap Nia Jax. Is this something more? Is this a little bit of a peep back into the character of Alexa Bliss, if you will? Does she have a weakness? Is like love her weakness because maybe Reginald and Nia are into each other? I don't know what this is going to signify, but I'm intrigued. In the end, Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss picked up the victory and qualified for Money in the Bank off of a roll-up victory over Shayna Baszler. So yeah, Little Miss Bliss and the superhero are going to be a part of Money in the Bank. Time for Riddle versus Drew McIntyre. Really solid affair here. Both men laid everything on the line. The welts on Drew McIntyre's back were tough to look at, but it made for an incredible match. It also seemed like at some points during this matchup, Riddle was landing more so on the side as opposed to his back. Not exactly sure what that was all about, but maybe Riddle has a bit of an injured back right now. After some big moves, Randy Orton comes down and he stands on the entrance ramp looking at this match and maybe contemplating his relationship with Riddle. Remember, Riddle screwed Orton out of his match earlier on in the night. It was indirectly, but he did. At one point in the match, it seemed like Riddle had no chance in hell in winning as Drew McIntyre hit the Future Shock DDT, but Riddle kicked out. The finish of the match saw Drew McIntyre throw Riddle up on his shoulders. Riddle reversed it into kind of like a hurricanrana, deep into the pinfall. 1, 2, 3. Riddle has qualified for Money in the Bank. Drew McIntyre simply can't believe that he lost this match and that he's not going to Money in the Bank. The story continues. Drew McIntyre is not getting another shot at the WWE title, and Riddle wants to apologize to Randy Orton. He says one of the most heart-touching lines that I've heard in WWE in quite some time. I'm always here for you, bro. I'm always here for you, bro. Riddle loves Orton, and Orton has got to get out of that cold skull of his, and he's got to realize that Riddle is going to do everything to be his friend. Randy, come on, dude, just be his friend. Come on, Randy. Moving on to our main event, though, Bobby Lashley versus Xavier Woods inside Hell in a Cell. First time Hell in a Cell has been on Monday Night Raw since 1998. And you know what? This match was good, okay? It was good, not great. It just was kind of there in the main event. I know people are going to focus in on the idea that Hell in a Cell is being devalued, first on SmackDown, then on Sunday, now again on Monday. But honestly, I didn't have any complaints with it. I think in 2021, if your complaint is that you're getting a good match on Monday Night Raw, I think you have other things that you could be complaining about. And you have to remember that not everybody gets access to the pay-per-views. If I was a kid watching this show and I didn't have access to the WWE Network and I saw that there was a Hell in a Cell match happening on Monday Night Raw, I'd be losing my mind. Like, I can remember one time when I was a kid, I watched Jeff Hardy versus Umaga inside a steel cage on Monday Night Raw. And I thought it was like the biggest match ever because you don't get to see these types of matches that often. So enjoy it while it lasts because WWE did some very unique stuff over the past week. During the middle of the match, we saw Xavier Woods jump off the corner turnbuckle, dropping his elbow through Bobby Lashley's chest, who happened to be laying on a table. The table went everywhere, splinters went flying, and I thought maybe just for a second Xavier Woods is actually going to pick up the win. But in the end, Bobby Lashley just whips Xavier Woods' skull into a steel chair, and he was not getting back up from that thing. Spear from Lashley, hurt lock, Xavier Woods taps out immediately, and Bobby Lashley has made his mark known and has given Kofi Kingston really something to think about. But if Kofi wasn't aware of what's to come against Bobby Lashley, Lashley certainly made him know, as after the match, MVP went inside the cell, locking the cell from within, not allowing Kofi Kingston to go in there, and all of a sudden it was a 2-on-1 scenario for Xavier Woods. Bobby Lashley just beats him up even more, locks in the hurt lock, pushing him up against the side of the cage, and forcing Kofi Kingston to see his best friend be massacred. It was uncomfortable, but it definitely gets us to the match between Kofi and Bobby, and I'm here for it. Honestly, a really good edition of Monday Night Raw. I don't have any problems with it. My final rating is going to be 8 out of 10, and that is simply because I thought the show delivered on every aspect. You can argue till you're blue in the face about whether this was the right call to have Hell in a Cell or not, but again, I'm going back to that point that this is a really cool moment for anybody who isn't able to watch a pay-per-view. If you can only watch Monday Night Raw, then you got to see a Hell in a Cell match the night after Hell in a Cell. What a cool treat. But that is it for me here today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my Monday Night Raw review. Make sure you leave a like on this video. Also making sure you're subscribed to the channel. You can come on over to twitter.com/conman167 and drop a follow over there. Or you can join our Discord server and chat with all the amazing people within this community. But thank you very much for watching. I've been Con, and that was Monday Night Raw. Doudrop!